We're continuing to track some wintry mixes across much of central Missouri. We're seeing a winter weather advisory in effect for many northwestern portions of central Missouri. A lot of that will be set to expire at about 6 p.m. tonight, as we're still going to be tracking a little bit of that freezing drizzle mix switching back over to snow. Main reasoning, though, for this cool down is those winds switching out of the northwest on the backside of a low pressure system, which is pulling that moisture back from the Gulf of Mexico, wrapping it back around and pulling it into central Missouri. Now, winds going to be a little bit gustier today and into the overnight hours, but taking a look at the ABC 17 Storm Track Future Track, we're going to continue to see a light wintry mix, especially for portions north of Highway 70, where temperatures going to be close to that freezing line. But with that being said, a lot of the radar is not going to be picking up on a lot of that moisture just because it's actually going to be lower than the radar beam. So what you see is actually going to be undercutting what it actually should be. So expect a little bit more moisture associated with this system. Now, what's that mean? Well, could hear a little bit of sleet switching back over to some light snow by about 6 p.m. Now, thankfully, we're only going to be looking at a dusting to an inch in northwestern portions of central Missouri. Everything to the south and east going to be warmer, and it's going to be melting on contact. So really not going to be looking at too much, but elevated surfaces could be a little bit slicker, so give yourself some time on the roadways. Now, we're going to be tracking the exit of this precipitation by about 10 p.m. tonight. That'll push off to the south and east, and cooler temperatures will continue to follow suit. We're going to be looking at overnight lows back into the upper teens. Mostly cloudy skies, but as we start to head off into early Friday morning, that'll start to kick back out, and we're going to be tracking plenty more sunshine. But tonight, those winds going to be very strong. We'll need to see some gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Now, heading off into Friday morning, give yourself a little bit of extra time heading out the door to warm up that car, because at 6 a.m., we're looking at temperatures back into the lower 20s. That sunshine does kick back out. By noon, looking at 32 degrees, hitting that freezing mark, and we continue to warm. But by 6 p.m., we'll start that cooling trend once again, looking at 35 degrees into the overnight hours. Going to be cooler once again, but heading off into Saturday, temperatures continue to rise with wind switching back out of the southwest. Still a little bit on the windy side, some gusts up to 25 miles per hour, but mostly sunny skies start to come back into play. We'll continue that warming trend into Sunday with a high of 61 degrees. So if you're heading back east towards St. Louis, conditions not looking too bad, but early on the morning for Saturday, you might want to have a little bit of extra layering before it starts to really kick back in with those southwesterly flowing winds. Now, into early next week, we're going to be tracking some chances of some light scattered showers, but for the most part, temperatures looking warmer than average.